Hello everyone, this is Ash and welcome to this video where I'm going to be showing you some factory aesthetics and machines that can help your factory in Create feel alive. So let's just get straight into it. As you can see, I broke the screen when I waved. So over here, what you can see is just a little bit of a display that I have built up to kind of give a bit of a showcase of some of the aesthetics that might be able to help you, you know, build your factory to a satisfactory, you know, standard, right? You want it to look good. This isn't really about, you know, the most efficient designs for machines. It's more about, you know, the different ways that you can decorate your machines and make them feel alive. So over here I've got just a couple cobblestone generators that I've designed, and they're just, you know, stacked next to each other, leading into you know, a item vault with some displays to show the outputs and stuff like that. But let's go through out of here. So we can kind of see the kind of stuff that I have built here as a little showcase. So this is just a small factory building. I mean, it doesn't look very small, but like when you go inside, there isn't really much room. So here I've got, you know, just some stacked steam generators. You can see inside was the output, and that was running to the door. It doesn't need that much. It's just how much I've got assigned to it. Over here is where I've got the redstone for that. If you actually use the ladders I put on, you can see all of the redstone for the door is contained in here. I've made this little kind of like power box. I should have probably scripted this video a bit more because I don't know exactly where I'm going, but I guess I'm just trying to show you some machines and different things that I've made that might be able to help if you're, you know, struggling to create something that looks nice for you. So you can see over here, this is the door I showed in my last video. It works better on this orientation than it does in this orientation. I had to change the redstone a little bit, like some of the timings, because when it was trying to push up, it would hitch and flicker like that. It works fine closing though. So yeah, just trying to show some context for some stuff. So here, I've noticed that this tuff looks a lot like just concrete, right? It's a very concrete looking block, and it's probably my favorite of the cut blocks that's added in Create. Over here, you know, orange I think goes really well with like dark trim colors. So, you know, using red sand and red sandstone, I've created kind of this. You can see over here I've scuffed it up a bit using some acacia wood and dripstone and a bit of coarse dirt to make it kind of look grimy, like some, I don't know, something's like dripping down through the top and like under the windows. The, you know, the cut andesite and the smooth stone slab go pretty good for these kind of I don't know what you call these roofs, but you know, I'm sure you've seen them if you look at factories. Yeah, and this like is just like a power box, because I figured, or I found that the ochrum looks, or ochrum looks really good, you know, if you use the sideways pillars. Right, it kind of looks like a, it's a neat texture. I mean, I think the sideways pillars in general might be my favorite texture in Create now. I feel like I'm going to use them all the time, but they kind of look like ridges in like metal or something like that. I mean, ochrum is like gold in Create, so it makes sense. Over here, you can see I've got a bit of a dual crushing wheel setup. So this one doesn't have included power like the cobble gen that I'll show in a bit. But if I just get a motor, so this is the first kind of like embellished machine that I made, and I wanted to show you guys. I think it looks best running at 32 RPM, though you can technically have it as high as you want. You can see here the pipes will get items sucked through this encased fan, and then they will fall into these chutes, and then you can see underneath they drop the outputs through these two. And the reason I made this was because I was like, the crushing wheels look cool, but they don't really look... I was struggling to make them look good just like on a wall or on their own, so I figured, well, if I just double them up, then I feel like the dimensions fit better. So, and this setup is just to distribute the outputs, or the input between the two of them. As you can see here, the schematics for these three main machines that I'm showing you will be in the description, by the way. Over here is a blast furnace that I designed. This does have included power. You can see just right here, use a passive steam generator, since, I mean, you could use like a water wheel or something else, since fans don't need much to be like bulk. This is very embellished, but you can see we have, if we go up through here, you'd have your input would be right down here. So let's say I've got, I don't know, a bunch of copper ore. You can just throw this, or have like a conveyor or a chute that drops into there, and it will smelt them. And then if we go underneath, the output is right here. It would go into here. If you don't, I find that it's a little weird with dropping, what's it called? Like dropping by hand a bunch of stuff in here. But if you're using a chute and it, oh yes, sometimes, yeah, the items get stuck in the center. But if you're using a chute to drop down the center, it'll go right in the middle, and none of the items will get stuck. So you can see that that works a bit faster than normal when you've got more fans pointing. So, that's how that works, and you'd extract it. And I made this because I felt that bulk smelting setups looked a little simplistic and small. So, yeah, all this does is really, it sends the signal to these fans, and it inverts the direction every other one so that they all blow inward. Although if two opposing fans blew outward, I feel like it might be the same, since it's dragging the fire, the smelting fire through, because it works in reverse too. But over here were a couple different cobblestone generator designs, but I felt I wasn't able to make them look good enough, so I settled for this design over here. And you can see if it's the steam engine is on. Basically, I've set these up so that you can just use the hand crank until it starts moving itself, and then you unpower this clutch, and then it will run these mechanical drills through this rotational speed control. So pretty fast, and this gets you about I don't know, like 2 cobblestone a second, maybe a little faster, and it goes into this item vault, which you could see. I had 2 of these next to each other in my factory over there. And so I also want to show you guys some using a couple of these machines pushed together or chained together, and what kind of stuff that you can make with that. Over here is one of my just something that I put together before I started recording, which is a dirt generator. So well, not a generator, more it's like a farm. It's a dirt duplicator, but it only uses legal recipes, right? So I have my cobblestone generator here. I've attached a stockpile switch so that when it's at 80% full, it will power the clutch over here and stop the drills. So that way, if it's backed up, it won't keep running the drills. The steam engine will still run, but the drills won't. Over here, I have the crushing setup. I've raised it up a little bit. I've got the same kind of, I've got a content observer on this belt output, so that, and that powers this chute, which stops the 2 brass funnels from spitting out stuff on top of here if it's backed up. And I've just attached a small little couple passive steam generators to the back there to power this, and then I'm running this at what? This is 16, 32, 64 RPM. And you can see these just started moving, so that powered off and spat out. Then over here it stores the bottleneck here. This isn't the most efficient. It's got a big bottleneck on the making the dirt. Basically what I've got is I've got the gravel running into 2 of these, and then dirt running into the other 2, and it's just on this little setup where the coarse dirt goes through here into this deployer, places it here. Then I have a hoe that hoes the coarse dirt, and then this drill will mine the dirt that's produced. And this has just got a bunch of hoes there. You don't actually need to do it like this. For instance, if I would just grab a coarse dirt, you can see over here, this also works. So you could have these alternate. It would just be a bit of a different setup, but it wouldn't cost any hose. So this is the cheaper way to do it. It's just I didn't hook it up like that because of, you know, how I've got this set up. It would just be a little awkward to try and fit it there. So this is just simply when it moves down, it pulses here and then toggles the gear shift, it switches the direction, and then it'll just send the dirt that it collects in that barrel over past these, and it will go through. It'll pick up, and when it needs to be backed up a little bit. You could move like all of this segment back one and have this output straight into into this hopper so that you wouldn't need to have this. Basically, I've just got a bunch of non-stackable items, and since hoppers are FIFO, or I think most stuff in Minecraft is FIFO, it'll never, since it's backed up, you'll never have an issue where it tries to fill up with coarse dirt and it can't because the wooden sword has got in the way here. Let me just check. Yeah, that is filtered dirt. I filtered this dirt just in case that this drill mines this, sorry, I opened the barrel so it triggered the observer. Just in case this mines the coarse dirt before this can get it. I don't think it should ever happen, but if you're using, like, I don't know, hose, then maybe you run out of hose and it drills that. So that's just got a filter so that it only can pull out dirt, and the dirt will run along here, and then when this is backed up, all the dirt will go into here, and you can see that's how it works. But that's just a kind of an idea of how you can chain this these together, and you know, yeah, it was just like more just like a cool build rather than something that you can do. I suppose while I'm here, I should also show you some things that should be kept of note when you're if you're printing these schematics. So it is mostly relevant for the crusher and the cobble gen. I'll show you the cobble gen first and foremost. If I grab a bucket of water, for some reason waterlogged blocks don't like work in the schematic, only water sources. So if I were to print this, you can see what you need to do is you need to waterlog these two pumps so that the cobble gen works. Then what you also need to do is waterlog this polished deep slate stair and this pump over here so that it can form an infinite water source. And then, you know, all you need to do is do that until it starts, you hear the steam, and then you can just switch it on like that and it works. So for the for this crusher, the power source isn't included, but you just need to remember if the fan is blowing in the wrong direction because of the rotation, like because you've rotated the schematic weird or something like that, you can just, you know, put another gearbox right here and that'll change the fan direction so it pulls upwards. And if both of them are going in the wrong direction, then you just need to reverse the input direction, and you can power it from pretty much any of these exposed areas. And then over here we've got some more, you know, kind of like aesthetics. We've got like the dark scorchier and the smooth red sandstone kind of aesthetic. This is just like a some building ideas for like this. The cut viridium kind of looks like circuit boards. The normal viridium kind of looks like alien egg sacs. Alright, another thing, if you want kind of like a worn down hazard tape, then this cut ochrum and the scorchier work really well together. Yeah. But I think, I mean, also here, I mean, I may as well show this while I'm in this world, is just kind of, you can make like resistors or like power cells with the rose quartz blocks, and you know, some use tinted glass sometimes if you want it to look a little like, I don't know, blown out or something like that. But that's pretty much all I wanted to show you guys. I'm just making sure there's nothing else. I mean, I suppose if you're pasting the, if you're using my my garage door from my last episode, one thing I need to note is that because of how create rotation is like calculated, like what is clockwise and what is counterclockwise changes when you rotate your schematics around, then you might just need to like go into the sequence gear shifts and change the rotation direction and maybe some of the delays to make that work. But otherwise, I think that's all I wanted to talk about today. So thank you for stopping by, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Hey guys, just before I leave, the one thing I forgot to mention was just that when you print the crushing wheel, on some orientations this thing will mess up. So let's see if I rotate this like that. I think you can see the chute and this chute don't get connected, so all you need to do is just aim right here, click that. It won't consume the chute, it'll just connect them properly, so this becomes a solid block again, and you can actually use the redstone and it'll like drag the items through the right way. So yeah, thank you.